As the launch for the next generation ramps up, Xbox has spent the better part of the year waking up a sleeping giant, showcasing the leading console, diving into the tech, and hardware powering the Xbox Series X, and spending the summer of 2020 showcasing over 40 games coming to the new consoles and to Xbox Game Pass. With Halo Infinite delayed to 2021, Gears Tactics is the first-party launch title for holiday 2020. But Xbox has much more to showcase the power of the Xbox Series X, and it comes with your new console day one, and it looks better than ever. This is Colteastwood. Welcome back to the channel. A special thanks to the sponsor and collaboration of this video, NordVPN. We're all gaming online, interacting to learn more and share a gaming experience with people around the world, but is our connection to the gaming world truly protected? NordVPN provides a safe, encrypted internet connection to the sites and resources that protect your identity, your personal information, and most importantly, your privacy. NordVPN will unblock content across regions, giving you access to shows and content restricted from your home country. It can also remove paywalls from region-bound websites for subscriptions and booking tickets, saving you money. The biggest benefit of using NordVPN is your anonymity. Internet service providers are legally required to collect your browsing habits on websites which are also being sold to marketing groups. Safety, security, and privacy, all thanks to the use of NordVPN. Nord was selected as the best VPN in 2019 with multiple awards and all green check marks from PC Mag Online. To get 68% off NordVPN, use the coupon code Colteastwood. Get your first month for only $3.71 a month, plus get an additional month free at NordVPN.com/ColtEastwood. Grab the deal today. Links in the description. So if you like this kind of content and presentation, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. Hit the bell to be notified of weekly content, and let's take a look at what comes with your Xbox on day one. The Xbox Series X is launching November 10th, accompanied by a smaller and more affordable Xbox Series S console. They have aligned some 8 exclusive games from first-party and third-party partners in the holiday launch 2020 window, giving a variety of new games to play next to some of the biggest games coming this year, like Call of Duty and Cyberpunk 2077. No doubt the holiday season is absolutely packed with games no matter which platform you decide to play on this year. Xbox is having the Coalition and Playground Games create a full next-generation free remaster of Gears 5 and Forza Horizon 4 to deliver full 4K resolution, higher than high PC settings, and 120 FPS in multiplayer modes for Gears. Xbox has committed to bring thousands of backward-compatible games up to your new console with a frictionless cross-save and worry-free transition from the Xbox One to Xbox Series consoles. The back-compat team has worked tirelessly for 5 years with over 500,000 hours in testing on some 4,000 games to ensure they come forward, preserving the purchasing games you have bought for over a decade. The Xbox Series consoles run back-compat games with the full power of the GPU, the CPU, and speed of the SSD, but the major drawbacks of console game design is locked frame rates or capped resolution. Xbox stated, quote, "Backward compatibility games run natively on the Xbox Series X and S, running with the full power of the CPU, GPU, and SSD. No boost mode, no downclocking. The full power of the console for each and every backward compatible game. This means that all titles run at peak performance that they were originally designed for, with significantly higher performance than their original launch platform, resulting in higher and more steady frame rates and rendering at their maximum resolution and visual quality." But what about the mass majority of big open world Xbox One era games that run at 30 FPS and lower under stress? Console games, unless patched by the game developers, cannot be changed by the user to favor performance, as settings are locked in the game code and optimized for that hardware. But the Xbox back-compat team has created a miracle software solution that unlocks the true potential of some of the biggest games we've played over the past few years. Xbox explains, quote, "Xbox Series X and Xbox Series S bring next-generation performance to your favorite games. Higher, steadier frame rates make games feel smoother, resulting in more immersive gameplay. The backward compatibility team has developed new methods for effectively doubling the frame rate on select titles. While not applicable for many titles due to the game's original physics or animations, these new techniques the team has developed can push game engines to render more quickly for a buttery smooth experience beyond what the original game might have delivered due to the capabilities of the hardware. effectively doubling from 30 FPS to 60 FPS on Xbox Series S and X, end quote. An important part of this statement is that many titles, physics, or animations are tied to the frame rate. It is unclear how many games will effectively see a frame rate doubled from 30 to 60 FPS without a developer working on a patch. It's also unclear which games cannot be upgraded automatically. Not every game is the same, and there are many factors with variations in game design, and trying to double the frame rate through back compat cannot guarantee that every game moving up to the Series S and X can enjoy the extra performance in the new consoles. If the back compat team at Xbox gets a game to improve frame rate and resolution, 100% of that game has to be tested and improved before it goes forward. Xbox showed Fallout 4 running at 60 FPS even on the smaller Xbox Series S, which has the performance power of a Ryzen 3700X CPU. This is a title that routinely dropped to the 20s under stress of the Xbox One and One X CPU. Backward compatibility is built all the way into the silicon of the new Xbox Series consoles, unlocking the true potential of the game made to run on Xbox consoles and PC. A game like Fallout 4 is one of the first confirmed games to make the leap from sub 30 FPS at 4K to a full 4K 60 across its massive open world. According to the requisite of games that aren't held back by animation or physics constraints tied to the frame rate, even a game like Skyrim Remastered, which is on the same engine, could see a leap to a 4K 60 experience on the Xbox Series X and dynamic 4K 60 on the Series S. There are likely a large group of games that will see the jump from 30 to 60 or 60 to 120, as well as a ton of Xbox enhanced games that have performance modes or dynamic frame rates built in. Over the past year, the Xbox back compat team has been focusing on delivering every single Xbox One title to the Series generation, save the Kinect titles from the first year of the Xbox One. Each and every game is seeing a frame rate stabilizing of sub 30 and sub 60 FPS titles to run and steady near locked targets as they were originally intended. Highly variable games like Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order will run at a higher resolution and a near locked 60 FPS on the Xbox Series consoles thanks to back compat. We already know that almost every single game will get auto HDR, bringing your older games, even many from the Xbox One, to a true color gamut on your modern HDR-supported TV and monitor. Visual improvements beyond just colors and frame rates are possible thanks to hardware and software-based back compat. They said, quote, "On the Xbox One, we were able to provide a curated list of titles that were enhanced for the Xbox One X via the Hochi method. This allowed titles from the Xbox 360 that rendered at 720p and original Xbox games that ran at 360p to play at 4K on Xbox One X, well beyond the capabilities of their original platform. The Hochi method continues to be used to bring a variety of titles to 1440p on the Xbox Series S and 4K on the Xbox Series X," end quote. Bill Stillwell, formerly of the back compat team, explains, quote, "And these are all in-game assets, but because we're using the RAM cache, that allows us to get assets out faster. This is the case where we're more craftsmen than a factory. We have to go through each game and measure how it changes, especially as we're in a situation where we're using higher rendered assets, and because we're doing that 9 times resolution increase, 3 times on each axis, we have to be able to manipulate what assets are shown and at what geometry so that we get the same or better performance with higher resolution textures." He's talking about 16 times anisotropic filtering. All of this, simply put, makes ground, wall, and geometry textures in-game at oblique angles upgraded from old sub 720 resolution, optimized, blurry, softer texture tiling to high-quality, sharper detail work for 4K gaming. So effectively, Xbox Series back compat can improve everything: visual clarity, frame rate performance, HDR color gamut, overall resolution, and improving the look of games you already own to look the way they were meant to be played on brand new, more powerful hardware. To make all of this even more appealing, it's absolutely free, and it's absolutely user-built to get you back to your previous games with no effort on your part. Cloud saves are automatically transferred to your profile, all DLC in progress, effortless behind the system, which means you'll load up or install a back compat game and it takes you directly to your save file with better visuals and better performance. Every single title with Xbox full support and new HDR. Xbox says it best, quote, "Preserving the games of our past is fundamental to our DNA at Xbox and our continued promise to you. Backward compatibility lets you experience your cherished gaming memories again and in new ways. Your favorite games retain everything the original developer intended, while experiencing enhancements and exciting new features. There's no need to look back because your games are ready to move forward with you to the next generation of Xbox." This is Colteastwood. Thank you so much for watching. If you missed my last 2 videos, they're very important because a lot of people right now are probably assuming that Xbox is only focusing on old games or back compat as a feature to sell the Xbox Series consoles. The last 2 videos showcased over 40 games that are in the works or nearly complete for the generation of Xbox Series S and X. I'll link both of those videos at the end here. The Xbox generation is just under a month away, and influencers and media have hands-on with the Xbox Series X and are impressed with the speed and power of the system. So people are expecting to see more games showcasing that power. We had Aaron Greenberg of Xbox Marketing on the RDX podcast, and I'll let him explain right here how teams are busy trying to deliver new gameplay.
While we've shown Series X spec, most games are largely built on PC, so if you even look at prior gens, but I hear you. We did show Series S with Gears running at 120 frames because we wanted to show that that product absolutely can deliver. And you're gonna see more of the Series X gameplay as we get closer to launch. So I think you'll see some more stuff later this month. But we also realized, like, hey, you got to, like, developers are, ramping for a new console launch. They're also dealing with the pandemic. So, we're trying to be patient with everybody, but what we're hearing is generally really, really positive things of what we're seeing. Games, how they're, the most important thing they're focused on is making sure they deliver the games, on time at quality. And so more marketing assets or more, game assets are kind of a tax on some of those teams. So we're trying to be selective about those and letting them prioritize getting the games done. Because we know that, and you've seen them even from the previews of people now showing stuff running and, the benefits of the SSD and the quick resume and all that. And those are all largely before you even see titles that are optimized. So you'll start to see more of the optimized titles. Then you'll start to see more of the, really built for Series X titles. And it's just going to keep getting better and better.
If you enjoyed this video, let me know by liking and subscribing to the channel. We are at 120,000 subscribers in a short 3 years, and I can't thank you all enough for this amazing support. Those who joined the channel membership or Patreon, links are in the description. They get early access to brand new videos and monthly giveaways. Add me on Xbox Live and Twitter at Colteastwood. Hey, be excited, be ready. I hope you all got at least one console you wanted pre-ordered, or you plan on getting one day one. People are on edge, they're anxious and pretty fierce out there, and talking about new consoles and games, and everything has come out, so please be constructive. Respect the developers that make the games we love, and as always, be nice.